Okay, is it not my player?
You're fifth.
Okay.
Robot.
Let's see.
Robot.
Yeah, that's the little one. I'm gonna go robot.
All right.
All right.
Oh shit.
First game of the season. Good luck. Good luck, everyone.
guys.
All right, good luck, guys.
I have something to say to Foxy.
Hello.
Fox
Heard
is
my
the
name.
reigning champion.
I
What?
am.
Who knows? It's not me anymore.
It was you for 7 years, so.
Not quite 7, but close.
Oh no, it was. I think it was 7.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
Oh, your bombs are not that big. Ooh. Oh. Oh shit. Oh.
Wow, dude, you're messing me up for real.
Oh.
Whoa. That was scary.
Oh. Oh. Oh, nice shot. Okay. Nice warm up.
Well, someone was getting aggressive, so I figured I might as well too.
I mean, I was.
I don't know
trying to be
who
a
it
little aggressive.
was, but maybe it was you.
I don't know. I was trying to be. Oh, good. That's a great start. For those who haven't seen the game that often, that happens quite often. And there's a dog.
It happens often among evenly skilled players.
Just be myself on Discord.
Players that are over-
All right, here we go, guys.
We're not skilled. We're just lucky.
I'm really slacking it off right now.
Oh, I thought I had kick. I don't. Ooh, I'll take that though.
My God, now I'm gonna die.
Nope.
Oh boy, come on! I got nothing. I got no bombs, no nothing. Nothing, dude. I'm screwed.
Nice jump.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have a kick. Good to know.
Ah.
Oh. First round, get used to the jump. You know, the jumps again. Oh, man.
Oh boy.
Oh, I tried.
That's
I
tricks,
tried.
right? Yeah.
Yes. Ugh.
Sometimes I need to know who I'm going up against. Everyone plays a little differently.
Oh, I don't have kick.
Uh-oh.
Ah.
I swear I'm decent at this game. Oh. Kick to no kick. I mean,
Wow, I screwed up. Dang it!
he had 3 kicks on him.
I can't pay attention, dude. Seriously, you're in my space, please.
I didn't know you could drop them all. when you're done.
Yeah, you do.
All right, here we go, guys. I'm gonna do this again.
Man, 3?
I can't even play right. I was not prepared for this, guys. I was so not prepared for this. This was more like a last minute, hurry up, get on type of deal.
But it's like I didn't think they stacked, but apparently they do. I thought they just replaced each
Oh,
other.
I mean, no. Oh, you thought they were. Oh. I get what you're saying. Oh, doing good at all today. Woo! Ooh, oh, wow.
No!
Look at that bomb.
I need bombs.
Ah,
Come on! I walked right into that.
pink crew was worth it.
Oh boy! Oh, geez. Oh, I got no green or no kick.
See, blue
I'm screwed.
is The video's favorite. Or no, it's green.
Green.
Yours is green. You like the speed.
It shouldn't be though. It's like a love-hate relationship because he gets me into trouble a lot.
Wow!
It's all purple. I love the jumps.
Come on!
I like the jump, I just can't time it. I don't know why. I'm terrible at the timing on that.
I haven't done it in a while, but I still.
I need kick. I know I need kick. I can't do this much. What's going on, Kiki?
Oh, there was nowhere to go there.
Oh, I need kick. Oh
I don't
gosh.
think he had kick either because I took him home.
Oh.
You got one now.
Man, kick him.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I thought that was gonna be
Cheater!
it for me.
Oh boy.
All right.
No.
Not a good start.
Come on, come on.
Oh.
Ooh, that was close. Dang it, man. I can't think. Please, can you please?
I think I was gonna get him.
The Bomberman is intense, yeah.
God,
Yeah, no, it's okay, it's okay. You did get...
you must have been like biting your lip or holding your breath. I mean,
I've yet to get a roux this time. Mom spaghetti.
it's like I was putting you through a lot. Oh, nice. Well, I guess that works.
Take some of those.
Yeah, I'm sure Foxy likes that.
Oh yeah. And line bomb. Oh, he doesn't have kick. I'll take that. Oh no! Oh! Good thing I have kick. There we go. Oh, pink roux to the rescue. Yay!
Yeah, I was gonna say this, you're gonna pretty much wrap it up now with kangaroo, line bomb, kick.
I had all the power-ups that time. That was my first roux, so I'm happy. No power-ups. We have kicked. Ah. Oh, you lucky your bombs. Oh. Ooh.
That should have blown up.
Oh no, you got out of that. Yeah.
this. Sorry about that, guys. It's just a lot going on right now. Yeah.
Oh. You are crazy. What are you doing?
I figured you were gonna get super aggressive, so.
I forgot what the line bomb did.
Double click, yep.
All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Okay, let's do this again. It sucks at the bottom or the middle. I don't like the middle too much.
Normally I'm the really...
At this moment, though, we don't have a choice, guys. We're gonna go ahead and try to win this one. All right, we got an egg. We're gonna go ahead and take that egg for sure. It's a yellow, which is good.
Peter,
Fine. Oh, good.
how can you kick blocks?
And kick.
Oh my god. Dude, please. For the life of me. I'm screwed, guys. I'm screwed. I have nothing good right now to use.
Let the world know that.
Oh my god. Just bombs, really? Give me something. Dang it.
Yeah, so Foxy, we're gonna be doing that Minecraft tournament next month instead of this one.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I got busy with a lot of
I got killed because I got desperate for that. I can't even play this right now, guys.
Mario levels.
That's fine.
You're taking up my space, dude. Seriously.
Great.
Hold on, guys. My monitor's not even where I want it. Like,
But you know that tournament we might be able to get a pretty
there we
good
go.
turnout with it, I think.
Okay, so far so good. We just gotta hold it down here.
A few more bombs.
You haven't played Bomberman in a while, have you? You should have registered for it. I told you.
Yeah.
played the regular Bomberman, but you had a bomb enemy.
Everybody,
Yeah.
I played Daddy. I didn't play Bomberman 94. I played Bomberman 64.
Oh no.
that was perfect.
I didn't play this one.
What?
I didn't play Bomberman 94. I played Bomberman 64.
Hey, do me a favor. Can you grab me another one? Because you're in my way. I can't get out. Thank you. And then put one in too from the box. Hold on, guys. Useless.
I'm not gonna leave you alone. You have so many bombs.
All right, now get out. I don't like your attitude.
Oh. So many
All right.
bombs.
Here we go, guys. Let's try this again. All right. We got an egg. Egg is good. It's the green, so the green's perfect.
Okay.
Yep, my cord I'm using to plug in my controller is kind of crappy.
Oh boy.
Shortly after this matchup starts.
We got 2 bombs we can plant, which is perfect.
Bump it a certain way, it like disconnects the controller. So I gotta be pretty still, which is kind of hard sometimes, especially when this gets intense.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got blocked in.
It's worth it. Oh, it's not worth it.
Dang it, I almost got myself killed, guys.
Didn't get myself to move. Ah.
Okay, guys, I really need to step up my game here. I killed myself. I'm doing terrible. Trix is a weapon of himself. Yeah, I destroy myself every time. Yeah, but good morning, or not even good morning, guys. Good evening. It's still evening right now.
I got only one bomb.
You know.
Once. Sometimes you get all the firepower in the world, but no bomb. And vice versa.
Nice move. Oh.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, you would have taken out my kangaroo too.
That's good.
Ah, why? All right, guys, we still got a chance to redeem and get ourselves back in action. We just got to be a little more careful. Just be very more cautious, guys. All right, here we go. Of course, it's nothing good, but hey. Not good. Wow, man. I don't know, guys. You know what? I'm gonna be completely honest. I have a lot on my mind right now. I was very busy with things, and then came to find out that we had a tournament today. So,
Trix, you've been streaming on Mixer?
yeah, I've been trying it out, see how it is on there. Have you guys?
No, I have not. I've never used it.
It's okay. It's
Is it your primary streaming service or not?
no,
You would
no.
Twitch?
Yeah. I think Mixer is in terms of like feature wise and what they have to offer, but in terms of like traffic volume, it's still not there yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it is nice that it's like integrated into your console. So for Xbox players, it's very beneficial. But other than that, I don't know. I like their like faster than light service that they offer for like latency wise. It's good, but I don't know.
What am I doing? I couldn't get around the corner.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay.
I know. We're trying.
Say this, but it never happens.
Let's get David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 trophies. Everybody focus him.
Oh my gosh, guys.
It never
the
works
reigning
out that way.
champion.
So what?
You know what though? It's like the villains too.
Clean slate.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know, it's like villains when they form an alliance, they still end up. Oh gosh. Okay, guys, we got to be careful here.
Oh, I tried to get you. I tried to take one out with me. Oh gosh. Oh no! Oh, that was so good.
Woo! I had to do it.
Hey, you got us both. So, man.
He did.
Oh, I think he did get us both this time. I think.
Ooh, how is he resisting that line bomb? I'm just like,
Oh!
oh, it didn't matter, I guess. He was focused on the win.
Yeah.
Got it, guys. We got that comeback. Let's keep it up, guys. Let's keep it up. Finally, I did something right. Man. All right, we got eggs to choose from. We'll stick with the blue. Blue is good.
My channel's not the epic.
I just heard it.
Oh.
Oh!
Still Theo and I. Good job. Sorry, Theo. That one was on me.
Remember, you guys go after me.
Yeah, that one was on me, though. We didn't get mercy in this game at all. This could be it.
Oh, I don't even have to. Not that it matters at this point.
What is that attaching? Really? You gotta spin it around the outside? You almost got hit there.
It's not a bad tactic, though.
Yeah, what?
No! Oh my gosh, I tried, guys.
Good game.
Mm.
Game, you guys.
Good game.
Oof. I felt...
Alright, so starting next month, I'm hoping to do more just casual streams and net playing.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun.
Hopefully we can get the old regulars involved with that.
Yeah.
Maybe some Dungeon Explorer again.
Oh man, Dungeon Explorer. It's been so long. I'm down for that. I'm down for anything of the Mutant Ninja Turtle variety too. Those are always fun.
Any 4-player beat 'em up.
Very true, Kinky. Very true, guys. I just don't know if I'm going to stay on or not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
4-player TMNT game that's on the consoles.
Not on console.
I know Arcade has that one. You know, it might not be a bad idea for us to just configure
I
our
only won, what, one round? That was it?
Arcade Netplay, because that just opens up a ton of games that can be played.
Yeah.
Because the RGR plugin does support main Netplay, it just you have to configure something with your firewall.
Okay.
Which
Bye-bye.
maybe you didn't know that? I don't know, but
Yeah. I think so.
But yeah, we can talk about that some other time. But yeah, I definitely want to do some more net playing, and we can have it streamed on any channel. No, doesn't matter too much. So yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna get going. Thanks for showing up, you guys.
All right. Yeah, sorry about making you guys wait.
No, you're
it's
fine.
okay.
It was kind of last minute notice, I'm not going to lie. Just to make sure, well, Monday mornings or Tuesday mornings I usually check, but with this being the first actual tournament, just completely flew over my head.
I kind of posted the schedule late too. It was like at 2 p.m. something.
Oh, okay.
Usually I try to do it at noon. I did a little later just to give people a little more time to post their times.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I kind of freaked out. I was like, oh, shoot, schedule's up? I'm like, oh, I had to completely stop what I was doing.
There was literally only a 2-hour notice between
Yeah.
the up and this matchup. So yeah, I would have completely understood if you weren't able to make it. So
Yeah. But, you know, I try to do whatever I can, at least appear, show up, support the community here, and let the world know about the Netplay. You know, definitely with the news that we had that came up, want to definitely play as much as we can.
oh, the RGR plugin
Mm-hmm.
continuation of that's gonna be at the end of the year. And I don't know if that's all browsers, but I know for sure that's Google Chrome.
Right, and that was like the majority people use.
Yes, that's most people use that.
But you know what, though? There's nothing wrong with Mozilla, though.
I don't know if Mozilla's gonna do it or not, but
But they also do Flash, too, don't they? Or...
I
Or they have their own thing.
No,
I
it's
think
Flash.
It might have, it's Flash, but I think at least for me, it has crashing issues. To use Flash through it, so that's why I use Chrome.
You showed up a little late to the conversation, Trix, but I was talking about RetroArch, the HTML5 version.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to look into compiling my own versions of it. Where
Okay.
I have Netplay built into it, because RetroArch supports Netplay, but only the desktop version of it does.
Oh.
It's possible to modify the HTML5 version to support Netplay also. It's a big project, but it's gonna probably be worth doing if the RGR plugin's gonna be losing Netplay support, actually just support altogether. But
Yeah.
so hopefully I'll have a solution by the end of the year. I mean, I've got like what 8 months to get something ready for that. But
Well, I think with Netplay, or not Netplay, with the internet services now being the way that it is, I don't really see HTML being a problem anymore. I know back in the day when people were limited to like 10, 20 megabytes download and like one upload, that was obviously a factor. But now with fiber and even or regular high speed, now it's still hitting above 100 megabytes. So I mean,
well,
most people should be good.
with that though, it's more of a spec thing. Like the computer has to have decent specs, because a computer's only going to set aside so many resources to the internet browser. So to have like games playing in the internet browser, they're going to have limited resources compared to like the RGR plugin. That
Right, because that was hardware based.
yeah.
Hmm.
But I've never had many problems with the HTML5 emulators, but I know others have. On my, I mean, it's even compatible with phones. If someone has like a high-end phone,
Yeah, you're right.
they can play it. And likewise, I've had no problems with that, but I know some people have.
Why don't you make like the Viz Retro console, like a little box that you plug in HDMI and just people plug it into the home TVs and. Nah, I'm just kidding.
That's pretty much been done with the.
I know. There's people out there. I was at a convention one day. I think it was like WizardCon or something, and I saw this guy. Was like, thousands of games or whatever, and I'm like, stores have stuff like this. But I looked at it, and I was like, wow, this is like actually like through actual emulators, and you can configure them. Like, how sweet was that? Because most of the time they limit you to where they want to set it the way they want, and the concept was there, but it's almost like I could do this at home. Like, do I really need this? I mean, it looks nice. But I guess for people who don't have like you said, high-end specs or whatever, they will encounter issues with emulation. I mean, but that's it. It could be the most cartoony 8-bit looking game and still give you the most. You'll have less performance on that than you would in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I mean, emulation definitely puts a big toll.
Yeah, and especially when it's in the browser. But
Yeah.
we'll have to just make sure to take advantage of the last 8 months of Netplay. Just assume that it's going to be the final 8 months, and we'll have to set aside time to do a lot of net playing over the next 8 months. And if I do come up with a solution, great. If not, then at least we
At least you tried.
sent it off, properly. So
Well, right now you have what? You have the RGR and then you have the MAME, right? Is that the only Netplay options currently?
the only Netplay options are within the RGR plugin. So right now,
Oh.
you can't play anything without the RGR plugin.
I am
Yeah.
going to head out, so.
All right. Yeah.
See ya, Foxy.
Take
You
care.
too.
See ya.
Thanks for kicking our butts. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'll mess around with some HTML versions of the games on your website just to kind of see how they're in terms of performance.
Yeah.
Um,
That'd be good.
yeah, hopefully you figure out something. I'm sure there is an option.
There is, like I said, I just have to compile my own versions of RetroArch, and it's just a matter of finding the time to do that and finding the time to learn how to do it.
Yeah, that's a
Like,
lot.
So I think I can pull it off, and I've dove into it a little bit in the past, so I've got a little bit of experience. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, just make sure you keep posting on your social media and tell the world, what you're trying to achieve and see if you can get some supporters to back up your project, you know?
Well, you know, the site has been picking up in traffic. It's actually, the traffic has tripled since last summer, so
Nice.
yeah, that's not something I've really publicized much yet, and probably should, because, you know,
I would.
there was
Let,
a
let the
time
fans know.
where there was a time where everyone, you know, had the image that Viz was, you know, going up in flames, or was going to be possibly shutting down, or, you know, just going down, that spiral downward motion. Where
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore. That was the case possibly a few years ago, but now things are picking up, so yeah.
Well, from me, always technically hanging out in the Netplay room because I try to just keep that bubble up there to help out the website. I know we don't get like any points or anything, so I'm not farming anything. I'm just kind of there just to kind of monitor the chat. Sometimes there's some weird conversations in that chat bubble, but I've seen a lot of names. There's a lot of people still net playing, so that's a good sign.
No, like, I really want to get that popular again too. I looked at an old video I had recorded from years ago when I was like, I did this one marathon thing maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, where I just played Netplay with just random users for like 12 hours. I just called it like I streamed it too, and I just called it like a Netplay marathon. And looking at the lobby in the video, like, it was just packed. There was just tons of people playing. Like, there, at any given moment, there was multiple Netplay sessions. So I kind of want to get it to that point again. I mean, I think if people realize, especially now with the coronavirus, you know, we're not supposed to be going out, at least where I'm at.
Right.
This allows people to play these games with their friends online without having to go anywhere or leave the house. So I mean, it's definitely a good time to promote it, I think.
No, it most certainly is. I mean, even like Steam servers and Xbox Live, all these companies that are like running hosting services, they're encountering issues because of the massive amount of logins and bandwidth consumption. What's going on? Like, it's insane.
Oh yeah, servers are being overwhelmed. Yeah.
Internet companies are struggling too, because not only they're out there trying to provide free internet service for people without internet, but also they're taking away like bandwidth from currently subscribed users. Vice versa with cell phone networks too. So it's like,
Yes, I haven't noticed that with Comcast, but with my mobile phone, the mobile data has been really slow lately.
Yep, me too. Because I do a lot of like, I connect my phone to my computer and I play my PC, and that's another thing. I can even play retro games on my phone from Viz if I really wanted to. There's no need for an app, so there's alternatives and methods to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll try to figure out something where it's not too complex. Like maybe have a game set and ready and then just kind of play it. I think what kind of makes it hard though is the lack of full screen. I know what about with HTML? Aren't you able to adjust the window size? I don't remember.
That goes full screen. Yep.
But that goes with your browser technically. Yeah, so I'm gonna look into that. But weren't we missing like chat features and certain things, or?
Yes, that's one thing that the HTML5 on Viz doesn't have, is the chatting.
Okay.
But, you know, if I was gonna get that to have Netplay, I would definitely have to add chatting. So that's gonna be a feature I'm gonna add eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, just whatever doesn't bog down the browser.
Right.
Like I said, that emulator playing in the browser,
We always want to think about the little guys too, like with their hardware.
Your plugin doesn't technically run in the browser. It just makes it look like it is. So like as soon as your window opens up with a game, the RGR plugin loads an instance in that window, but it's not actually in that window. It's just kind of like lying to you, I guess, making you think it's playing in the browser. Yeah, which actually most people don't know that. And
Right, but it works.
It does work, yes. And you know, I don't know.
It just sucks all these companies out here though. They're trying to do whatever they can to eliminate other people's like success. Like just like they're trying to do with this whole Flash thing, which I know Flash is so weird because like it's like how many years have I what about those companies that do like fake malware Flash sites like, hey, update your Flash player? I feel bad for those guys.
Yeah, right.
If you still update your Flash while it's discontinued, there's something wrong.
I mean, it does blow my mind that they're discontinuing Flash though, because there's so much history behind.
Yeah.
Like, there's websites that have like decades worth of content built around Flash. Like you have like Newgrounds and a few others where you have people that have been producing Flash content for years.
Right.
It's
Well,
sad to see all that, get discontinued.
a lot of those, like, what is it, like arcade sites, like a little, like even kid games and stuff, a lot of that was Flash.
Everything was Flash in like the early.
It's crazy.
And Shockwave, which I still don't know exactly what that was, but
Yeah, you're right about that. I remember there were some shockwaves that was needed, like at the time. I think that was before 64-bit browsers, though. I think that was more like, that was like what, QuickTime. Remember QuickTime? Like some of those random things, you're just like, do I really need this? Like, I don't know. But no, you done a good job, David. I mean, the main thing is at least you're keeping the community together, regardless of the RGR or not. And I know you'll find a way. I know you'll come up with something.
yeah, appreciate it. Hoping, like I said, to do more net playing though too. Just it's a great way to keep the community together and
Yeah.
for me, anyways, to stay in touch with all of the former veteran users of the site. So otherwise, as time goes on, you kind of just lose contact with people and eventually just those friendships completely die. So
I know.
some of that stuff together. So
Well, you got the Minecraft too. That brought a lot of your people together. Like, but obviously the ones who do Minecraft. But I've watched some of your videos. Like, you guys are doing great.
yeah, we're gonna do one next month, another tournament. Yeah, that's something we're actively keeping alive. Like that server was down for years, and I revived it just like less than a year ago, and it's been pretty active since. So yeah, that's a whole different community, all part of Viz, just a sub community of its own.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Well, I think you might. I'm gonna give you a kind of a heads up. I'm not sure if you're very well aware of like cloud gaming becoming a thing. NVIDIA GeForce Now released cloud gaming services to the public. And then there are like other things. I'm not sure if Google Stadia is doing it or whatnot. But with that being said, Java Minecraft is accessible for mobile devices now. With that being said, so that might be something just to keep your mind on, because more people can actually join. Just make sure your server is controller friendly, obviously, so people can use controllers, which Minecraft usually is pretty much. The only thing I don't think that's gonna really lack with Java Minecraft was be text-based. Like the Bedrock edition has it to where when you open a text field, your keypad pops up on your phone. I don't think the Java version would do that. I think it would still want you to type it. But with someone like me, I can attach my mouse and keyboard to my phone without a problem. I use with USB hubs and stuff. So that's doable. Not everyone knows about that or knows what to do or where to get this stuff, but nothing with the power of Google and YouTube. I mean, you'll figure it out. But it is a possibility, though. I did notice that the only thing I'm having issues with my Minecraft is I can't get into my account. I've been wanting to get on your server for the longest time, but now with this outbreak, I never got a response from Minecraft yet, so I'm still waiting. They did contact me saying it went through. I told them that I can't log in. I know all the information, but it's not letting me log in or reset the password or anything like that. So hopefully I can get that worked out, because I can't log into my Java version. I'm on my Xbox and everything else, but it sucks.
Because the Super Mario Brothers tournament that me and Foxy hosted a few months ago was really fun, and we're gonna have a part 2 to that at the end of April. So hopefully you can get something situated so you can be part of that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I tried everything. I don't know, because I remember back in the day I used to have a lot of, because my Minecraft is probably like an install from like 5 years ago still, or 6+ years. So I still got like some of those old launchers like Technic Launcher and stuff like that. So I'm not really 100% sure like...
They eventually changed the way that you log in with your username at one point. Like,
oh, maybe that might be why I can't get in then.
there was one time where it was like you're using your email address to log in, I think, and then eventually they made it so just your username. I don't know. They did some weird update like a few years ago.
Okay, let's see. Look at this. I got magic launchers. I got a bunch of Minecraft launchers. I don't know which one I'm supposed to install or launch it with. I think I'm just gonna go to the Minecraft website and just like download a new thing.
It's confusing because if you install the Windows 10 version, which is the Bedrock version now.
Yeah, it overwrites everything.
But you have both of them, so it's like you have to know which one you're clicking, because when you have them both installed, it doesn't make it obvious which is which. I don't know. something I've experienced.
Okay, so here's a launcher here. This one's 2018. This launcher here doesn't tell me. Does the Minecraft launcher say Minecraft launcher, or does it just say just Minecraft?
Both of them just say Minecraft.
Right, I'm gonna try this one real quick. Oh wait, this might be it. It's showing the Java. I think this one's still showing. Oh, you're already logged in. Okay, you may use this account and skip authentication, and then so it does show my existing user.
Okay.
And then it does show the email and password at the bottom. So should I just click? I'm scared to do this, man. Did I finally get in talking to you? Oh, still wants email and password. We couldn't log you back in. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try. You said when's the tournament?
At the end of April. So let me see. April. It'd probably be April 29th. Most likely. Or, you know, yeah, probably 29th, 28th of April. That last week, anyways. Yeah, you have plenty of time to figure something out, so.
Yeah, I'm even doing the email. It's not. I don't understand. I'll figure it out though. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
All right. Well, just make sure to take a look at the schedule thread so you see which
Yeah.
your next matchup is at. So.
Oh yeah. I know I was looking at it early this morning. I'm not seeing anything. I'm like, and I know usually, like you said, in the afternoonish around your time you do it, but it just went over my head. I had a couple things popped up, and I looked on Discord, saw your message, like, oh shoot. Yeah, Discord I think is the best thing. Have you been doing like your announcements through Discord too, or you just do it through the website?
I just do it through the website. I think.
Because somebody made your Discord server, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do both.
I haven't even created that, so.
Did you want to make your own, or did you just want to keep yours, like everything on there?
I'm just gonna keep the one that.
Gotcha. Cause why don't you do like you know, because like if you, let's say you get all your followers over from Viz over to Discord, you get verified. Okay, that's a good stepping stone. One, because that gives you public discoverability. Like people can see like Viz Discord server, like, oh, okay, they come in, oh, it's a retro community, and then they can partake, and you'll like expand your brand outside of just your website. Also, they have a new notification system, so like when you can have users can follow and like your announcement channel, like if they want to keep up to date of anything. And Discord, let's be honest, it's mobile, it's desktop, it's everywhere. So I personally love Discord. I think Discord is by far the best thing. Like even when I want to see updates for like Dead by Daylight or whatever, I get updates on it, and I don't even have to be on their server. I just follow that channel in particular, because let's be honest, sometimes Discord can be very spammy and there's too much going on, and you might just want to know what's just going on with the game rather than just the community. But it's good to know that at least you have that option.
Yeah, no, Discord's made a lot of progress in like the past 2 years, just a lot of features, and even recently discovering that when you're in like a big group call, people can share their gameplay footage.
Oh yeah.
I mean, stuff like that is really cool for if you're doing like a stream and you want to like somehow embed everyone's gameplays into a single stream. You can kind of do that with Discord now.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Kind of like this.
Yes, exactly like that. Yep.
Oh yeah. So I got the game on there, and I think you can do up to 50 people right now, which is really good. Oh, they added stream settings? Well, that's cool. It shows who's watching. I can invite people. All right. Wow, this ain't bad. I didn't even think about it. Let me see how their invite system works. So you have to literally go one by one. That's kind of annoying. Hopefully they'll add like a group invite where you can like maybe set like a group that you would like to invite. But I guess maybe people might start complaining.
Well, I mean, if everyone just like the way I see it being used, for me anyways, like if I was gonna do a Minecraft tournament.
Oh yeah.
Everyone that's playing, let's say all 8 of them are in that, and they're all like sharing their screens. Now my stream can like show all of their perspectives, so I could have like little boxes on my stream where you could see each person's perspective, and yeah.
I think the only bad thing though about the Discord live though is that the voice chat spam. Everyone, if they have their mic open, just imagine the clutter and talking. That's my only concern.
That was, yeah, once you have like a lot of people, yeah, that becomes an issue, which me and Foxy kind of experienced a little bit when we co-hosted that Minecraft tournament. Like,
You're right, Anita. You're right anytime, right?
So.
Yeah, yeah, even, you remember Anita. Or they just redid their username to anytime. But, yeah, they said, thank you, Trix. Tell him it's best to do this. That was the whole Discord announcement thing we were discussing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it would really help you out. But I know right now with that Netplay RGR, that's a pretty big thing you might have to work on. You know, I know you had a lot of other ideas, but definitely I think Netplay is what really helped your website a lot over these years.
It is. I would agree. It's definitely something I'm going to be prioritizing. So
yeah. And also, like with your Patreon, do you let everybody know things on it? You post on it frequently, correct?
No, actually, I don't.
David, you're slacking.
Yeah, no, I know.
I know, man.
It's, it's like it takes so much time, like developing.
It does.
And once I'm done, like doing all the development stuff, generally, my brain is just fried.
Why don't you do like, I didn't mean to cut you off. Like, why don't you do someone that's like in charge of your social media? I know they're all like into yours, but maybe some of them you can set like as admins or something. They can like post for you or something. I don't know. So you'll have like a social media manager or admin, and like maybe whoever's on Discord will just copy and paste what you post on your website over to Discord, and then just set announcements, just so that way word's getting out. Because I know a lot of times when people join the website, it gets very confusing because there's a lot going on the screen. And if you're not really familiar with navigation wise, it can become confusing big time. I've invited people and first thing they say, they're like, where do I go? What do I do? So, but I think Discord is great. I know you've done some tutorials back in the past, but Discord might be another good section to place your guides in to like direct people what to do, like how to start a Netplay, you know, because instead of looking on YouTube, because some of the videos are kind of older now, maybe get some like...
No, that's actually a good idea. I need to be making more, just some new tutorial videos on how to do different things. Because, yeah, people love being able to watch something be done rather than just reading a bunch of text. Text is,
and again, navigation on the website. I'm not going to lie. Even when one time I needed to post a suggestion, I'm like, holy crap, where do I find this page? And I found it, but... it was, a little gotta pay attention, read the fine print, make sure I'm in the right section. It gets crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of forums on this site, so sometimes people don't know which forum to post in, but...
Right, but I love your site because it's different. It's not your everyday same website everybody else uses. You know what I'm saying? Like yours is very unique. It's set for you.
I'm not using a platform. I basically built my own platform rather than just reusing an engine that others are using. Yeah, and then if they go down, you're down. That's a bad thing. But yeah, then now people know how to hack yours because you're using the same code. And yeah,
I definitely think guides, tutorials, get that Discord going big time. I mean, you do wonderful events, you do great prizes. I just feel like that needs to be put out a little more. That way, I know just the website is hard.
You subscribe to my YouTube channel by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, so you probably did see the highlight video I put together for that Minecraft tournament.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of Minecraft lately.
Yeah, so that's kind of stuff I'm also gonna try to do.
Highlights are good. Make some GIFs, post it on your Twitter. And again, I know, like you were mentioning, it is a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, it really is. It's better to have somebody in charge of managing it for you, or someone who even wants to do it, because most of the time people don't want to do it. They rather just do their own page.
I do have a staff member that's supposed to be doing that. I'm at the
you're gonna have to talk to them. What are you paying them for? No, I'm just playing. I know.
I don't pay anyone anything anymore, but if things pick up again, maybe.
Most admins know it's a voluntary position. Just make sure you put it in a fine print in like bold font, like 5, where they can barely see it. Like you're never gonna get paid. This is a voluntary work. Yeah, even on communities, like admins on your Minecraft server. I mean, obviously these guys, they don't get paid, but like they could still participate in like events just like anybody else. They do get like perks, like maybe like server perks or forum perks, whatever. Or like you said, if things were booming, and let's say out of the kindness of your heart, one of these days you're like, yo, I like to get everybody in the staff together, and I want to give everybody like a $25 gift card or just something, you know.
Oh, trust me. Like when I was making good money on the website, I was giving away hundreds a month, just
Okay.
between competitions, and actually did have one staff member who was making a decent income that I was sharing some of the ad revenue with. But,
Yeah.
So when I do get to that point again, if I do, yeah, I'll definitely be distributing finances a lot more than what I am now. But yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of ad revenue, how I mean, I don't want to know your financing amount or like what you're making or rev wise, but like how's that going in terms of having like, you know, with ad blocker being a big deal nowadays?
I mean, it's okay. It's definitely not enough to pay the bills. Like, it's
Right.
not an income anymore.
It's got to be more than what Twitch pays out.
But it's more than it's paying. It's enough to pay for the servers, which is great.
That is good.
Then some. But the thing is, I haven't like played around with the ads in like a year or two, and I just recently got back into.
You need to play with it because there's different methods you can do now.
Yes, I'm optimizing their placement. I also had to redo the website's layout just recently, like in the past week, which I kind of just finished up this morning. The website's more dynamic now, so like you could take any page and minimize or just shrink down the browser, and the website completely adjusts to any browser size, and that's important for ads. So hopefully the ad revenue between the things I did lately will possibly double, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, no.
Double, but like I said, I haven't played with them in like probably 2 years. I'm just busy and was discouraged, and yeah, didn't work.
Yeah. Well, with ad blockers being at the disposal of anybody nowadays, it's pretty insane. I mean, I've whitelisted it to where at least, and like you said, I know for one person, it's not a lot, but if everybody do it, it definitely helps. I don't even remember. Do you have like a pop-up saying, would you consider whitelisting our website, or does it just?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Okay, I haven't seen that in a while, so I know I did at one point, and it's not good to force them to whitelist because then that could be bad, but it's just nice to at least give them a message saying, hey, would you like to consider, you know.
Yeah.
But you did do that. I do remember that. It's just I haven't seen it since for a while.
No, I did. It might not be up to date, so it might not be triggered for all ad blockers. So that's something else I'll have to look into, because yeah, if let's say a quarter of all viewers are using ad block, that's 1/4 of the revenue I'm missing out on. So yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, things don't pay themselves. I mean, just to have an ad that's just sitting in the side. I know the only ads I think that are very intrusive are like the ones that like cover your screen, or the ones that are like auto sound play. Yeah, those are annoying.
I've always been pretty good about not ever using those. I'm not gonna lie, it was tempting at some points just because of how the crazy amount that they pay, but I obviously would never have considered it. But
yeah, no, that's very true.
But yeah, no, I'll never add any ads that I myself would be annoyed by, because I use the website more than anyone else, and I don't want to be annoyed. And yeah.
Right.
And you know, I think you kind of destroy your own reputation once you start falling into greed or whatever.
Yeah, I think they start seeing signs of desperation. Like once they start seeing sites doing like too many ads, like it's not good. I mean, that's like watching a live stream. If somebody pressed ads every 3 minutes, how would you feel?
Yeah, it'd be annoying.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of like a website. But like you said, you first join, have a little ad block, like in the, in your little squares sections you have lately. I know I see them there, and I think you have like these vertical ads. But the thing is, they're not intrusive enough. Like I still get to where I need to go. They're not in my way. I can navigate just like I normally would. And heck, sometimes the ads are even great. It'll show you that video card you were looking up recently on Amazon. Like, oh yeah, I almost forgot. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I just need to, like I said, find better placement. I'm still working on the placement. I redid the website's layout. Now I'm just working on the placement. So that takes up like a long time, because move the ads around, then you gotta wait a few days to see if there's a noticeable increase in revenue, and then the other big project is having to like find a decent ad network, because you could be going through a good one and then suddenly a year later it's not a good one anymore. So, and the one I'm currently going through might not be good anymore. I might have to look into other ones.
Yeah, I'm going back on Viz right now. So like I'm not logged in, so I'm at the main page. It shows your Facebook, but I'm at the main page. I see the wow, these are educational ads. Look at that. Talking about college and well, this is probably stuff I'm looking at probably, but and I don't know what this is.
The ads for the most part are like age appropriate.
Oh, okay, good, good. Register to remove ad. Okay, let me log in.
Yep, when you log in, those 2 side ads completely go away.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, so I don't see that pop up anymore. But like I said, I don't block your website. Nope, I still see them. Or no, wait, never mind. I'm not logged in. What the heck? Oh wow, it was my mistake. I just clicked log in, but didn't put my username in. Okay, so yeah, so now those 2 boxes are gone, and I'm back to like your links and your online friends, your actions, your trending on site. So there's currently at the main page, on the index page, there's no ads. Or no, related content there is at the bottom.
There's a horizontal ad that's supposed to be appearing, but I don't know why it's not been lately.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only ads I see is at the bottom where it shows related content.
Yep.
Yep. Sponsor links by Taboola. All right, so let's go to the retro game room.
It's supposed to be another one on that page, but it's not loading at the moment.
All right, it looks like this ad block that you had before, this little section, I think it's missing. It's just like transparent now. Next to the new contents added to the site daily, it's just blank. I know usually that's where you have the live streams, I think.
Yes, yeah. Huh.
It's empty, nothing there at all. So this might be another reason why you're not getting much ad revenue. Currently, I'm only seeing ads towards the bottom. It's like 3 blocks.
That ad is actually displaying for me, so it's just
wow.
I guess I'm not sure.
Well, I do see my browser doing some weird transferring, reading, whatever. So maybe the ads are just not pulling through. I don't know.
No, I think that network is actually their servers are having issues at the moment.
Oh.
That I think might be why.
Okay.
I will say though, the most intrusive ads are the ones on the game pages, but
let me go ahead and check. Like, so if I click a game,
ad, but that thing pays a lot.
Yeah, no, I can't even see it. It just says sorry, you're what? Banned. Hold on. I think I just got banned on Viz.
What does it say?
Sorry, but your IP address is banned from this site. Reason error 80016.
Oh.
Now, out of nowhere. Wow.
I'm gonna have to fix that. I wonder.
It might be a glitch.
No,
I never had this before.
That's a glitch. Yes, someone else was reporting that recently. So yeah, I'm gonna get that fixed right now. It's only like a 60-second ban. It thinks you were viewing too many pages even though you weren't.
Well, I was kind of flicking them, trying to look for the ads, so that could be why.
But that should not be like banned.
But that could be very misconceiving or like misleading your users.
No, people might think they're.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting that fixed. Because yeah, clearly you didn't do anything out of the ordinary. So.
Yeah, so I did the index page, I did the retro game room, and I think I clicked on. What did I click on? Zombies Ate My Neighbor. Yeah, I clicked on that, and then this page popped up.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Okay, so I'm back on, and it still has me logged in, I think. Yeah, so that's weird. All right, so I'm back in now. You're right, it was 60 seconds. All right, so I'm gonna click Doomsday again. All right, so I'm looking. Okay, so I see the. No, this is actually part of the game. Or no, wait, or are these ads? I don't know. Patrick Holmes. I'm assuming that's an ad. This is Vibrant walk-in tub sweeps. Oh yeah, these are ads. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you get right underneath where it says play game, there's the 3 ad blocks again. But that's all I see. You're right. So there's something going on with your ads.
Yeah, no, there definitely is. Like I said, I think their server was having issues earlier. Maybe it obviously still is too, but
Yeah.
But there's a big ad on the game page, and that's the only page of the website that has the big ad.
The-
And like I said,
Which one? The video game room?
just the game pages of the video game room. Yeah. So
Oh.
anytime you go on a game page and you're about to play a game, there's like a big horizontal ad at the top.
Oh.
It's pretty big. Like I said, I could justify it though because you're going to be playing a game, you're going to be using site's bandwidth, so it's kind of like your fee of playing the game, I guess, having to view that big ad, but it's not like required to be viewed. It can be closed, and it shouldn't be too intrusive.
Okay, so I just clicked Bomberman with HTML real quick just to kind of see. No, I don't. Or is that only with the RGR? I'm not seeing an ad.
No, it was on the page itself. You didn't have to click anything, but
Oh, yeah.
it would have been at the top.
Nah, I don't see it. You're talking about the page like where you can play the game and choose the emulator.
Yeah, yep, it would have been at the, like close to the very top of the page, but yeah, it's just not loading at the moment.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh. Okay. Well, hopefully, that's what sucks about this kind of stuff. Like, things get updated daily. Same with like API. If you integrate anything into your website, it's like you constantly have to.
Yeah, they're always updating that. That's why so many features like sometimes go down, and they go down for a very long time because then I gotta invest the time into like basically recreating the feature. And
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. Yeah, so I sent you a little GIF in your DM of like what I see. Like I just see like the 3 ads, just like with the.
okay, yeah.
That's all I see. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's normally a big one at the top, and
Was it the one that like dropped down? Is that the one you're talking about?
it's like a 970 wide by 300 pixel.
Okay.
You definitely would see it. It'd be at the very top, and
Right. So height wise, not much, but the width, it's definitely across almost the whole screen there. Yeah, I don't see that. I used to see it. Like I said, I think maybe pop-ups in general are just not functioning currently.
Got the ad blocker item.
Oh, yes.
Your items.
I didn't even think about that. Oh my god. You know what? It was so long ago. I forgot about that. Wait, how do I check my items again? I forgot how we do this.
Marketplace. And then
Marketplace. Okay, I gotta go to Retro Gamer first, I think.
Yeah, you do have the ad block item, and you're completely entitled to have that too. Like, the way I see it, if a user has enough viz to buy an ad block item from the marketplace, then
Yeah.
they deserve to not have to view ads because they've already contributed to the website in other ways.
Right. Okay. You know what? I'm so sorry. That just flew over my head. But I remember at one point you did mention that the ad block may not work anymore, and I think I remember you had an announcement about it.
Yeah, no, I eventually fixed it. You have 2 of them. One that blocks the actually I think blocks all of them maybe.
Yeah. Let me look at my inventory here.
Yep. I'm looking at your inventory at the moment too, but did you find your inventory?
Yeah, I'm in here now. I remember Game Accelerator was a big thing. That still doesn't work.
It does not work.
But honestly, it's still pretty quick. It's not bad, you know.
But yeah, the ad blocks definitely do work. All right, cool. Well, that
Yeah.
resolves that issue.
Yeah, ad block deluxe, ad block standard. Okay, remove all horizontal ads. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, they were expensive. Okay. Ooh, I still got raffle tickets. Holy macaroni. what are you gonna do with your how's your game section looking now? Like with the I know you had like Steam games on there for like Biz.
Oh, for the digital games.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot of stuff. Pretty much all the big name titles
Yeah.
are gone. But yeah, there's still a decent amount of stuff in there. I mean, there's still thousands of games, just more smaller, unknown indie games. Which there's
Gotcha.
some good indie games out there. You just gotta find them. But
Yeah, I mean you got an off-road VR, you got some VR games, Lost in the Woods.
so it says that there's. Oh, let me see. Where does it say this?
Umbrella Corps. What the heck? Is this Resident Evil? Oh, I think it is. What? Yeah, you're right. A lot of indie games. But you know what though? They're not that much viz. These viz are very reasonable. I mean, you get it from posting, making threads, and you got a really good community in terms of like screenshotting and like description wise of games. I've seen people make some wonderful posts.
We have people that are constantly submitting content. Like as far as screenshots go, like it's actually probably one of the better websites on the internet for finding screenshots of retro games, just because there's so many. There's like hundreds of thousands of screenshots on this site. Crazy, all the content that's been submitted over the past like 10 years.
That is crazy. Yeah, so I didn't even think about my ad items. I'm sorry. Like that. Now I kind of feel bad. Like so it probably does work.
Yeah, I mean it's working for me. I'm seeing the big horizontal ad, not the smaller horizontal ads. Those.
So I have to look at this not logged in, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, let me log out. And I don't know if I can navigate much. Let me see. Market. Okay, I do see the two ads on the side. Okay, let me go to the video game room. Okay, I am seeing more ads as of now. I see the two ads on the side constantly. I see that box I said was empty.
Yep.
All right, so there's like 3 ads per page pretty much. Okay, let me go to a game room here. Okay, I do see the horizontal ad. Okay, there you go.
Big, massive one at the top, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Okay, yeah, now, yep, they're working. So the horizontal ad is working, and then when you hover over it, it kind of like does like a drop down. It is automatically muted, which is good. Yeah, and then you got your...
That's actually the highest paying ad by a long shot too. So that's definitely one that's worth keeping for me anyways. Like just helps with the finances of the site.
Yeah. No, it's definitely good.
And like what people don't know is that like it is kind of expensive to run a website like this because I mean there's like a lot of games. Obviously there's like 2 terabytes worth of games and music. I mean we have like I think 200,000 video game songs in the video game music room.
Yeah.
And then not just the disk space but also the bandwidth. So that's kind of why the server costs are as high as they are. I think it's a little over 500 a month for the server costs, but I mean as long as the ads are paying for them, which they are, and then a little extra, that's all I really care about at the moment. I just want to make sure I don't have to pay for the site out of pocket. It'd be hard for me to justify that, but the ads are definitely paying for the server costs. So, and that's something people ask me too. They assume the site's not paying for itself, but it is. It's never been in a position where it's not paying for itself.
Right. Yeah, you made some posts. Your last one was June 25th, 2019 on Patreon.
Yeah, I gotta work on.
Nah, you're okay. I'm just trying to help out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Because this is a mistake I make myself, and it's very crucial. It actually has a huge impact, believe it or not.
Just little reminders too. I mean, you kind of forget about things like that. But yeah, Patreon was actually a really good source of income when I was actively taking care of it, because it had a lot of good perks, a lot of perks that people really liked.
Yeah, especially if they didn't have the viz. At least now they had another method. So that was definitely a good thing.
And it offers perks that you can't even get any other way too. So you know, I gotta be promoting that more. So I was good about making an announcement like every 3 months, so on the site. But now I do it like maybe once a year, like reminding people about the Patreon page.
Yeah, and you got it on your Viz website too, which is good.
Yeah.
Well, I got homemade
All
PCDs
right, I
there
think
for you
I'm
to
gonna
chip.
get going though. So
Hey, no problem, David. Well, I'll see you in the next tournament
yeah,
or whenever we match up again.
probably
And
next week.
yeah, I mean, I'll still, like I said, I'll still spread the word. I've had a lot of people sign up for the website. It's just
No, I really do appreciate that.
yeah, I'm trying to make sure it stays alive. I don't want the community just to disband, and that's a good thing too about the social media and Discord. At least you'll keep your community, not just on the website. Like put them somewhere else where allow them to follow you on other sources, so that way you can always keep up to date in touch with them.
Yeah, no, that whole social networking aspect.
Social media is important,
Yeah, yep.
especially Minecraft. Minecraft's a very popular game. You post that, I swear, even if a child looks at it, you're gonna get a like, a retweet. It's gonna spread. So if you got
Exactly why I've been making trying to make YouTube videos of these tournament matchups for the Minecraft server, because if I can present them in a way where it looks appealing and it's on YouTube, people
very
can
true,
see that and
anytime.
might want to join those
Yeah.
tournaments.
Well, I'm gonna get my Minecraft fixed because I definitely want to get on it with you guys. I watched you guys and I get jealous because like I want to play Java so bad because I love Java in terms of like mods and like the endless possibilities. And the Bedrock version, I don't know, man. Like I play survival, so it's cool, but I miss the Java. The Java is like you can put new enemies, new scripts, do this, that, things you'd never see in Bedrock, and it's like some of the mods are amazing.
And you can connect it to a website, which is something I've been tapping into. Like,
Oh,
you can the Minecraft section of Vizzed. Oh boy, I'll have to send you a link to that. But it's got all kinds of cool features. You can see in like real time, like who's on. You can see like claims that people have, like the stats about the individual users on the server, um, people that are currently on and people that have been on. You can actually transfer Viz to your Minecraft account uh, from Viz to the Viz Minecraft server. Like because our Minecraft server has its own currency. Previously, like years ago, you'd have to send your Viz to a staff member and then they'd give you the currency in the game. Now it's all automated where the site takes care of it. Yeah, there's a lot of integrations taking place.
yes. Let me see, Mojang. I'm trying to get my Minecraft back, and yeah, March 7th. They just received my question, but never. That was it. So I don't know if I gotta buy it again. I buy it again. I mean, what is it going for? It went up, I think, in price.
$6, maybe $30. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day where if you needed to change your name, you had to buy a new copy. Like I remember that was a big issue back then. Now you can just change your name. I don't know why I can't log in, man. Like I don't know. I think maybe because I haven't logged in so long or something.
Yeah, I mean that's just weird, I guess. I
And
don't know.
there's not like a there's not like let me see, even the website here, sign in, forgot password. I could have sworn I tried this. I don't know. I'm gonna mess with this. Like I said, I don't want to take up all your time.
All right.
Um,
Good.
I'll keep you updated, and like I said, I'll probably play around with some of that HTML5 and see how it's like. And
Yeah, that'd be great. Give me some feedback on that too. So
yeah,
that'd be appreciated.
yep, sounds good.
All right, take care.
All right, David, take it easy, bro. You too. Okay, guys. Wow, we're eating good this week, right? That's the way to go. Burritos. Burritos are very good.
Burritos not the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. Mm. All right, guys. So I think what we're gonna do. I know there's quite a few of you guys in here right now, and I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna end this video. For this. Yeah, nothing's popping up here. Let me try. me try something here. It's okay, right? Right. Yeah, so I went live for the retro tournament thingy. Nothing. Weird. Yeah, see, it knows my email, so I can't. Doesn't send the email for forgot password. There's nothing in here. Let me type Minecraft.
You're fired!
Oh, wait, it did message me back. Hold on. Yeah. I can't get my Minecraft, my Java anyways. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna mess with this. We apologize for the delay response because of the increased volume over the past few weeks. We're attempting to help by setting instructions for common issues. These ain't gonna help. Don't need to do an email change. I see it right here. For us to change or verify the email address on your account, we will need to verify your transaction ID or redeem a gift code. Okay, so how do I see this? Yeah, I'm gonna mess with this, guys. I'm actually gonna go ahead and just go offline for now. I'm gonna finish what I was doing. I will be relive a little bit later tonight, guys. Okay, I don't want to keep you guys like waiting or just watching just a screen of nothing, you know. Yeah, appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna deal with the little one because he has homework he needs to finish and he hasn't finished it yet, guys. So I will be back soon. Thank you so much for everything. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.